As we finish our course in the economics of the firm, I want to leave you with kind of three broad themes. I know you have spent much of your time focused on what I would call the trees, and that's very important to understanding economics, is understanding the nitty-gritty, if you will. You know, what does an equation do? What do the curves look like? Cost and production curves, demand curves, and all those kinds of things. You have to know those things to know economics, but it's sometimes easy to get kind of lost in that forest. And with this video, I'm just trying to get you to think about, as you walk away from this class, what are kind of three things that I really want you to know as you leave the course. So what are three things that you really need to know? All right. One, ignore sunk costs. That's a message that hopefully you've seen more or less throughout much of the course, that we want to focus on marginals. In other words, by my actions going forward, what's going to be the effect of that? Will it lower costs? Will it raise costs? Will it increase revenues, or will it decrease revenues? What is the immediate effect of my action? And we're not worried about things that happened in the past that we can't change. So when you pay entry fees, for example, and then decide later, well, this isn't working out so well, but we can't quit because we paid these big entry fees, I hope you've learned that the entry fees you paid are long gone, and your decision to stay in or not stay in a particular situation has to do with, from this point going forward, what is the marginal effects, positive or negative? Always weighing the additional costs versus the additional benefits that you get out of any action. It's all about the marginals. So step one, number one, I want you to remember, is ignoring sunk costs. That is thinking marginally, thinking forward. The second big thing I want to leave with you, and I've seen this, I spent 25 years in corporate life, saw it time and time again, businesses make a huge mistake by forgetting that the business is about profits. All too often businesses fall into the trap of thinking, well, if I maximize my revenues, that's close enough. That will maximize my profits. But hopefully what you've seen in this class is maximizing revenues is okay, that's a good thing. But you can do so much better. That's not maximizing profits. Likewise, minimizing costs. That is not maximizing profits. The focus of the business should be on profits, not on revenues, not on costs, profits. Finally, the third thing I want to leave with you for this course, and it's the topic that you're studying here at the end of chapter 13, which is trying to understand your customers, and particularly their elasticities, in a much deeper way. Again, all too often businesses fall into the trap of, oh, we need more revenues, let's just simply raise the price. And hopefully you've learned enough by now to know demand curves had downward slopes. If you raise the price, that means you might lose some of your customers. Maybe you can raise the price and you won't lose very many customers, and you do indeed make more revenues. That's true. That could certainly happen. But another effect of that, of raising price, is that you lose so many customers that you actually lower your revenues. Be fully aware of what the elasticity of your product is before you make price changes. A corollary to that, and the topic you studied in chapter 13, is that you might be able to take a huge advantage of differences between customers, so that you can price one set of customers in a different way than a different set of customers. And by doing that, you can generate even more revenues for your company. So, in other words, all you're doing is taking advantage of what different customers' demands look like, and then seeing if you can price accordingly. If you can separate markets and identify differences between them, there might be huge benefits to doing that. So those are three things I want you to keep in mind as you walk away from this class. Hopefully you've learned them and learned a lot of economics. But the three things I want you to focus on: ignore sunk costs, that is, think marginally. 2, your company's focus should be on profits. And thirdly, know your demand curve. Are there advantages that you could take advantage of with your pricing, with differences in elasticities? As always, if you have questions or comments as you prepare for the final, please let me know.